Hey guys, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Today I will be talking through a classic Sudoku created by Kumaresan. Kumaresan has contributed many classic Sudokus in the past to us and they have all been excellent, and we are happy to revisit classic Sudokus with a Sudoku created by him. It's been quite a while since we had covered a classic Sudoku on the channel. The last one is about 2 or 3 weeks back. I'm not really sure. So we thought it would be nice to revisit classic Sudokus. The link to try this Sudoku out yourself is given in the description of the video. Do try it out and come back and watch the video. The rules are standard. Each row, column and 3 by 3 box will have digits from 1 to 9 without any repetitions. So having said that, we'll start solving the Sudoku, and before that, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please check out the videos that we have been posting on a daily basis, and I'm sure there'll be something that you enjoy in the channel. We'll really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. So let us start solving the Sudoku now. There is a 5 in row 4 and 5, which means 5 must be in one of these cells, but the 5 in column 3 gives the 5 here. Okay, so we have a 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. Okay, 3 in row 1 and row 3, which means that 3 must be in one of these cells because 3 can't go here, and 3 is in column 8 and 9, that gives a 3 in one of these cells, and 3 in row 4 gives the 3 here, and that gives a 3 here, and that gives a 3 here. All 3's can be placed by using normal scanning technique, and that gives a 3 here. So I think we have placed all the 3's except 3's in boxes 2 and box 8, and they can't be resolved as of now. Okay, 3, 7, 9, 5 and 8. The remaining digits are 1, 2, 4 and 6. You have a 6 here, so 6 must be in one of these cells, and that gives a 6 in one of these cells. And can we continue with the 6? There is a 6 in one of these two cells, all using standard classic rules. We can just place them by using a simple scanning technique. Okay. Now let's maybe start writing the candidates. Okay, there is a 4 here in column 8 and 9. I just noticed that. So we can place the 4 here. And that gives a 4 here, right? There is only one cell to place the 4 in box 4. So we get the 4 here. And let us start writing the candidates now. 4, 5, 8, 3, 7, 9. So this would be 1 and 2 because 6 can't be there. And these two cells would be 1, 2, 6. And you have 1 here, so that is a 2 and a 6. So next we can look at maybe row 4, column 3, box 6, all appear interesting. Maybe let's look at column 1. 3, 7, 9, 4, 5 and 6. So these two cells would be 1, 2 and 8. No other candidates are possible there. And there is a 7, 9 here. And there is a 7, 9 here. So I can lock a pair. There are only two cells which can take the 7, 9 in box 1. So I'll lock the pair 7, 9 here. Which means that these two cells now must be 1, 2 and 8. Okay, 3, 4, 7, 9 in row 1 and 1 and 6. So which means that this cell must be 2, 5 and 8. Can't be anything else. 3, 4, 6 and 5 and 7. Okay. So remaining digits in that row must be 1, 2, 8 and 9. So which means that this cell must be 2, 8, 9. This can't be 2 and 9. So that would be 1 and 8. And you can't have 1 here. So that would be 2, 8 and 9. Okay. And I can make a corner pencil mark of 8 in these cells because 8 can't be in row 5, so 8 goes in one of these cells, and that gives 8 in one of these cells, right? Okay, I have an 8 here, so I can remove the 8 pencil mark from here. That's not an 8. So which means that this cell can't have 1, 2, 5, 4, 8, 4, 8, 3 and 6. So this must be 7 and 9. So now maybe let us look at row 9, 2, 4, 3, 5 and 8. So remaining digits are 1, 6, 7, 9. So this would be 1, 7, 9. This would be 7 and 9 because you have 1 here. And these two cells must be 1, 6 and 9 because of the 7 here. So let us look at column 7 now. 3, 4, 5, 7 and 8. So remaining digits must be 1, 2, 6 and 9. So this is 1, 2, 9, this is 1, 2, 6 and this would be 2, 6 and 9, right? Just I'm proceeding using what I usually do when I solve classic Sudokus, write some pencil marks if I'm not able to see anything. So 1, 7, 9 and 5 and 8. So these digits must be 2, 3, 4, 6. You have a 3 here. So that must be 2, 4, 6. Let us look at row 6, maybe 1, 4, 9, 4, 9, 1, 3, 5. So remaining digits are 2, 6, 7, 8. So this would be 2, 7, 8. That would be 2, 7, 8 again, and that would be 2 and 6 because I have a 7 and 8 here. So that has to be 2 and 6. Okay, so 2, 6 and 8 and you have a 5, 9 here. So which means that this cell must be 1, 3, 4 and 7 and you have a 7 here. So that is a 1, 3 and 4. So 8 can't be in row 5, right? So I can write the pencil marks here. So they must be 2, 7 and 9, right? Okay, let me write the pencil marks here. So this must be 2, 6, 8 and that must be 1, 2 and 6, right? So we have a quadruple here, right? Is it helping us? 6 is in one of these cells, nothing much there, right? Okay, 3, 4, 6 and 2, 7 and 8. So this cell can't contain anything but 1, 5 and 9, right? No other candidate can go into that cell. And similarly, this cell is also restricted, can't be 2, 6, 8, cannot be 3, 4, 5 and 9. So this would be 1 and 7. That's nice, right? So it has a bi-value candidate that may potentially help us later on. And if I look at this cell, can't be 1, 3, 4, 6 and 8. So this can be 2, 5, 7, 9. So okay, there are 4 possible candidates. I'm not going to write that for now. Okay, let us look at this cell, maybe these two cells actually. So 1, 7, 9 and they can't be 2 and 5. So both of these cells must be 3, 4, 6 and 8, right? So you have a 3, 4 in row 3. So that would be 6 and 8 and that would be 3, 4 and 6. Is that helping us actually? I don't think so, right? These seem interesting, guys. There seems to be something going on here. I'm not really sure what is that. So we haven't yet looked at the values in these two cells, right? So 1, 7, 9, 3 and 8 and 4, right? So this would be 2, 5, 6 and this would be 2, 5, 7, 9. Okay, we actually saw this cell, right, earlier. Okay, one thing to notice from this row is that 5 is in one of these two cells, right? And if you continue onwards, you will also see that in row 7, 5 is in one of these two cells. I'll just highlight and show those cells. In row 3 and row 7, 5 is in one of these two cells. So which means that we have an X-wing pattern. So when you restrict the value of a digit in 2 rows and in exactly the same 2 columns. So if you, for example, in this case, row 3 and row 7 and the columns are 4 and 9, right? So you have an X-wing pattern. So which means that none of these cells can take a 5. Because if I have a 5 here, the 5 in row 7 gets pushed here, and if I have a 5 here, the 5 in row 3 gets pushed here, which means that I either have a 5 in these two cells or I have a 5 in these two cells, and in both the cases the yellow cells can never take a 5. So maybe this cell I can use to eliminate the 5. Maybe it would be helpful, maybe not. 3, 4, 7, 1 and 6 and 5. So that would be 2, 8 and 9. And this cell can't be 2, okay. that this cell can't be 5, right? 2, 6, 8 and 3, 5, 7. So that would be 1, 4, 9. Nice. So is that forming a pair or triplet maybe? A triplet actually, it can't form a pair. Not really. There was a 5 that we eliminated from here, but doesn't help much. So let me remove the highlighted cells from here. So I have 1, 3, 4, 6 and 5 and 8. So this cell must be 2, 7 and 9, right? Can't be anything else. So what am I missing here? Is there an X-wing of some other digit hidden here? So I have 1, 7 here, a 7, 9 here. Okay, 7 is in one of these two cells in column 3 and 7 is in one of these two cells in column 6, which means that we have a skyscraper logic, right? Let me highlight those cells. These blue cells, one of these blue cells is going to take a 7 in column 3 and in column 6, one of these blue cells will take a 7. So which means that at least one of these two cells must be a 7, right? Because if not, then for row 7 you will get two 7s, right? If this is not a 7 and if this is not a 7, both of the 7s get pushed into the cell for the respective columns and you will have a contradiction. So one of these cells must be a 7, but actually that is not helpful here. So if there were a 7 pencil mark here, we could have eliminated that, but it's actually not helping. So let us look for something else. So 3, 4, 6 and 5 and 7, right? So 1, 2, 8 and 9. Okay, nothing much there. So I'm going to start writing 4 candidates now because we have almost populated the entire grid. So I'm not able to see anything easy. So let us start writing some more candidates. 3, 4, 6, 5, 7. So this would be 1, 2, 8, 9. And we saw that this was 2, 5, 7, 9. Okay. And there was an X-wing of 5, right? Okay. We have eliminated that already, so not an issue. Oh, I'm sorry guys, there is a straightforward pair here that we haven't noticed earlier. So there is a 2, 6 pair here, which means that this cell is not a 2. So that becomes 7, 8 and that becomes 7 and 8. And is that helping us somewhat? Okay, this cell can't be 3, 5, cannot be 1, 6 and 8. So that would be 2, 4, 7 and 9. So I'm going to keep writing pencil marks now. 1, 7, 9 and 5, 6 and 8. So that has to be 2, 3, 4. Nice. So slowly we are getting populating the grid. So 1, 6, 2, 7 and 8. So which means that 3, 4, 5 and 9. This particular cell would be 3, 4, 5 and 9, right? So when you're like faced with a situation like this, like you're seeing the grid and you're seeing a lot of pencil marks. Sometimes if you're not trained enough or if you're just into Sudokus, this seeing so many pencil marks in a grid can be quite overwhelming. The first question that comes to the mind is, where do I start looking or how do I start looking in such a mess? You can see that I've populated the entire grid and you can ask me, where do I start looking, how to get the digits? So the simple advice or the simple rule of thumb I will suggest is, start looking for cells which have bi-value candidates, which have only 2 candidates in them. So you can see that these cells are of particular interest to me. All these cells have only 2 possible values in them. So in most of the Sudokus, even in harder ones, most of these bi-value candidates will give a lot of information. Even advanced logics like X-wing or XY wing or even XYZ wing or an swordfish, all these techniques can be spotted if you train your eye or if you train yourself to spot these techniques using the bi-value candidate. So let us see if we are getting anywhere using these bi-value cells. Let us see if they are helpful. So I have a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Okay, so I'm going to look for an X swing now because I have 1 in one of these two cells. I'm looking for rows which have 1. Okay, there is a 1 here, but it is in 3 other cells, so there is no X swing pattern anywhere for the 1. So the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, this seems interesting. I have 1 7 here, a 7 9 here. So if I have a 1 9 somewhere, I could get a Y wing, right? So is there a 1 9 somewhere? No, not really. Let us maybe look for an XYZ wing. There is a 7 9 here. There is a 1 7 9 here. So we need a 1 7 somewhere. Okay. There is no XYZ wing here. This is a tough Sudoku, guys, for sure. Of course, whatever Kumaresan contributes to us has some tough logic in that. So it's not entirely a surprise. So 2 5 9 3 and 8. So this must be 1 4 6 7. Okay, it is of least help, right? This pencil mark is not helping at all. So I have 1 7 here, I have 1 8 here, I have a 7 8 here. Awesome. Is that giving me something? So this is basically a Y wing pattern, guys. Y wing is also called an XY wing. You can call it an XY wing or a Y wing. So this is awesome, guys. This is really awesome. So when you have such a pattern, I mean, there are 3 bi-value candidate cells that I have formed here, right? And you will notice that exactly one cell forms the hinge cell and 2 cells form the wing cell. So this is the hinge cell which is capable of seeing both the cells, right? It is common to both the cells. This one particular cell has an effect on this cell and this cells, right? So when you have such a pattern, right, 3 cells exactly having digits of the form AB, BC and AC, right, then you can eliminate the common digit from the wing cells. So these are the wing cells, row 6 column 5 and row 7 column 6 are the wing cells. So whichever digit is common between these cells you can eliminate, right, from the cells which see both of these cells. So in this case you'll notice that these 2 cells, right, I'll highlight in purple maybe, these 2 cells are capable of seeing both these cells, right? So you can eliminate 7 from both of these cells. So this is our Y wing pattern. This is the hinge cell and these 2 are the wing cells. This hinge cell is nothing but which is seeing both the other cells. So for example, you cannot call this as a hinge cell because it's not seeing the other 2 cells, it's only seeing this cells, and similarly this cell is seeing only this cell and it's not seeing this cell. So a hinge cell is something which sees the other 2 cells, and in that case I can eliminate the common candidate from these 2 cells from the cells which see both of the cells, which means that this cannot be a 7. Awesome, right? So if that is a 7, what happens? You get a 1 here, you get an 8 here, and what goes here now? Nothing, right? Awesome logic. So this is an XY wing or a Y wing, a very very powerful Sudoku technique, guys. So let us see if this technique is actually helping here. So I can eliminate a 7 from this cell, so this has to be a 9, and which means that these 2 cells can't be a 9, so that becomes 1 and 6, and which means that this cannot be 1 or 9, so that has to be a 7, and that becomes 9 now, that becomes 7, that becomes 9. So this logic is helping us, guys. Superb, superb. So you can tune yourself or get stronger in spotting these Y wings by solving more of these Sudokus. Please check out our Classic Sudoku playlist. We have a lot of Sudokus having Y wings of these sorts, so I'm very confident when it comes to spotting Y wings. So there is a 9 here, so 9 must be in one of these 2 cells. Let me put a corner pencil mark, and that is not a 9, so 2 7. So there is a 1 6 pencil mark here, both these cells. Okay, that's not a 9, so that's 1 2 8. So triplet, that's not a 9, that's not 9, that's not 9. That is, these 2 cells can't take a 9, and 9 has only one cell in column 4, so that's a 9, and that becomes 9. This becomes 2 7 pair. Just this one deduction, guys, this single deduction, look how many digits it's giving. Awesome Sudoku. I love such Sudokus where if you find a tough deduction it gives you a lot of digits. So that becomes 8, that becomes 7, and these 2 cells can't take a 7 or a 2, so this means that this would have to be a 4 because you have a 2 7 pair here, so that's a 4, and which means that's not a 2, that's not a 4. Okay, so 4 is here, so that's not a 4, that's a 2 and 3, not a 4, 3 and 5, and there is only one cell for the 7 in this box, so that has to be a 7 now. And can we get something here? So I have a 2-7 pair in column 9, so that's not a 2 and a 7, so that's a 5-9. There is no 2 here, so which means this would be 5, 8 and 9, and there is no 9 here, so that's a 5 and 8. Let me remove the corner pencil marks. Okay, so 8, 9, 5, 8 and 5 and 9. Awesome. I can remove the 1 from this cell because I have a 1, 6 pair. So that's a 2, 9, right? And you have a 9 here, which means that this is a 2 and that's not a 2, that's a 6 and 9, that's not a 2, 1 and 6. So you have a 1, 6 pair, awesome. So that's a 9, that becomes 5, that becomes 8, that becomes 9. This 8 removes the 8 from here, so that's 1 and 2, and you have a 2 here. So that's 1, that's 5, no 5 here, so that's 2 and 6. And there is a 2, 8 pair here, awesome. So that 5 gives a 3 here, and that gives a 2 here, an 8 here, a 1 here, a 6 here, a 2 here, a 6 here, a 1 here, a 2 here, a 1 here. This is all child's play, guys, but I love doing this. So you have a 6 here, a 1 here, a 6 here, and that gives a 5 here, right? You can complete this box. So you can understand how powerful this technique is in this with respect to this Sudoku. Just one single deduction and we are almost through with the Sudoku now. So 1, 4 pair, there is a 1 here, so that's a 1, that's a 4, and that's 8 because of the 6 here. So that has to be 3 for the column, and 1, 2, 3, 8, 7, 9, right? So 2, 8, so that's a 5, and this 2 gives a 6 here, a 4 here, this 2 gives a 7 here, a 2 here, a 7 here, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9. So this would be a 1, 2 pair, and that one gives a 2 here, a 1 here. That has to be a 6 because you have a 1 here, 1 and a 2 here. So now these two cells must be 2 and 8, and you have a 2 here. So that's 8, that's 2, and that's 2, and that's 8. And we just breeze through the Sudoku. The last 30 or odd digits, I think we just breeze through, right? Once we reduce this piving, guys, it just really helped us in the Sudoku. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this classic Sudoku by me. Please let us know your thoughts in comments. We'll be happy to address that. And do remember to subscribe to the channel. We hope to see you soon with the video. Take care until then. Bye bye.